Hello good people, this is Angie and you're watching Angie on Bonds. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and let's walk the journey of bonds together. So how do you pay for a bond? This is the last process in that whole auction process. So you've placed a bid, it's gone through, you have a confirmation that your bid is successful, and the last bit is you need to pay for that bond. How do you go about it? So remember, you indicated a bank account when you're opening your CDS account, and that is the bank account that you'll always use for all your bond transactions. If you need to change that bank account, you have to go and change the details at the CBK. So how do you pay? You need to do an RTGS at your bank. So you go to your bank, you have those RTGS forms, or if you're doing it digitally, there's a way you fill in your details. You are paying the CBK, you're paying the central bank. That's the pay, that's number one. Two, you need to indicate your two accounts. You need to indicate the CDS account, that is the CDS portfolio account, and the virtual account. Remember, you are issued with two accounts when you opened a CDS account. So you need to indicate them on the RTGS form, the CDS account and the virtual account number, two account numbers. On the place where you indicate the reason for payment, you indicate that you're paying for this particular bond, the bond that you purchase. For example, you are buying for the purchase of the IFB1 2023-17. This amount, if it's 100,000, reference number. Remember, when you get your confirmation that your bid is successful, you're given a reference number. So on that space where you're filling the reason for where you're making your RTGS payment, you indicate that you're buying this bond, this amount, and that's the reference number. Those are the main things you need to consider when doing the payment via RTGS. Your CDS portfolio account, your virtual account number, the amount, the reason for payment, the bond you're paying for, and the reference number. This has to be done before 2 p.m. of the value date. The value date is the date by which you should have made your payment. So you should do it early enough. You can do it like several days before. Remember, an auction closes, then there's time before the value date. So it gives you several 2-3 days for you to make your payment. Someone was asking, what happens if I don't pay, if I don't have money to pay? Now, first things first, I don't know why you're placing a bond when you don't have the money. Remember, this is a whole auction process by CBK. There's so many, there are very many participants. And every participant is considered. I mean, we have like thousands of millions of bidders. So you can't keep defaulting. You place a bid, it's accepted, it's considered in that auction, then you fail to pay. You're really inconveniencing the whole system in that auction. So avoid defaulting. Just ensure by the time you're placing your bid, you have the money in place, because it's only a matter of like few days between the auction closing and you making the payment. So confirm you have enough cash by the time you're placing a bid so that you don't default. But just know that if you keep defaulting many times, that if you fail to pay, your bid was successful and then you fail to pay, that's what I'm talking about when I say defaulting. You can easily get blacklisted or barred from bidding in future. You don't want to be barred from bidding in future. So remember, have the funds ready by the time you're placing that auction. So that's the process of paying, just an RTGS. And how do you get your coupon payments? How do you get your money, your return from CBK? They send your coupon to your bank account through the same process. It will be credited to your bank account. Remember, when a bond is floated, there's a prospectus that contains all that information, and it contains all the dates that the coupons are paid. They are all listed until the maturity of that bond. They are clearly listed, like you can tell which day you're receiving that interest, and it's usually credited very early in the morning. So it will be credited to your bank account, the one that you used to register during opening of the CDS account. You don't need to call, you don't need to send an email, you don't need to do anything. You just wake up and your coupon you find your coupon credited to your bank account. That's how you get your coupon every 6 months. Remember, the coupon is paid every 6 months, so it will just be directly credited to your bank account. Now, how do you check your holdings once you've purchased the bond and you've paid for it? How do you know that you actually got the bond? You actually own the bond now. Unfortunately, as of now, CBK doesn't send you any SMS saying that, yes, we've received the money and we've sent you the bond. No. So what you do, you check your holdings. You go back to your *866 hash. Then enter your password as usual. Then go to balance inquiry. There's a drop down. You go to balance inquiry. After that, you go to portfolio balance. You want to know your portfolio holdings. That is the holding of your bonds. I mean, has your bond been credited now that you've paid them money? Once you send that out, that is *866, the password, then balance inquiry, then portfolio balance. Then you wait. An SMS will be sent to you confirming that your CDS account is holding this amount of bonds. With that, you'll be able to know whether the bond was credited or not. Rarely will you find a scenario where you don't have the bond yet you paid the money, not unless you sent the wrong instructions when sending the money via your bank, something which you need to pick up with your bank. So yes, they'll just confirm to you that yes, you have your holdings for bonds in this portfolio account, in this CDS account, and this is the amount of bonds that you're holding. If you want more specific details, you can request for a statement to show your holdings. Remember, this is just like a bank account where you want to know how much you're holding. But in this case, you're checking for something different. It's not for money. You're checking for the bonds that you're holding. So if you want more specific details, and especially to know which bond you're holding for which amount, so you request for a statement, a mini statement or the full statement, and you have to say for what duration. So to do that, again, you can do it manually by filling a form or uploading it on the CBK website and then dropping it at the CBK, the manual way. Or you can send an email to the Central Bank of Kenya. You can send an email to r&rm@centralbankofkenya.go.ke. r&rm@centralbankofkenya.go.ke. All these details, you can find them on the website. All these details where you need to send the email. And indicate your virtual account number, your CDS account number, and the duration for the statement. Then you'll receive an email. Remember, it has to be the email that you used to register when opening that account. You have to use the same details. Then they'll send you a statement of your holdings in bonds, and it will indicate that you have this amount of bond, you have this bond in this amount, you have this bond holding this amount. All that information will be available. Well, if you want more, you can always visit their offices. But yeah, that's the whole process of buying and paying for the bond and confirming your holdings. Now you just sit pretty and wait for the coupon payments without lifting a finger. It's that seamless. It's easy peasy. So enjoy the process. Remember, if you want a one-on-one session with me on bonds, send an email. The email will be indicated right below here, the link. The email will be indicated. Just send an email and let me know. Is it, do you want a one-on-one session as an individual, as a chama, as a company? And I can take you through the whole process. Remember, if your money is not making you money, then your money is losing you money. Thank you for watching.